What's up, oddities? Today I'm going to be recording a showcase of all of the new skins from this update, including the Egg Hunt from Easter and the new map skins. So first of all, we have the Mirage Wizard skin, which I predicted correctly from the reflected egg of the Easter event. Here we have level 1. He kind of looks like default, but his glasses are broken. He has the kind of the Stardust like bite marks, and he has a bag. Here's what he looks like when attacking. Yeah, there's no custom sounds or anything, which is pretty sad, but it is a pretty cool looking skin for level 1. Right, level 2, it has a bigger backpack, or it actually gains a backpack now, with a frying pan and a squirrel on it, and has a different face and a mana symbol. And even more of that corruption stuff on it. Here's what it looks like when attacking. Yep, no new special sounds either, but level 3 is when it gets really cool because it gets the color palette of the Mirage, the dark skin, the white clothing, and the gems on it, along with even more of that the platinum look. It also gets a scarf. It looks pretty cool. So it looks like when attacking. Yeah, pretty cool. No custom sounds either, but I think level 3 is probably my favorite level of this skin. Level 4, it gets really tall for some reason, and looks a lot like the Mirage boss, along with getting the staff that he uses, kind of the wing, and the different outfit. Here's what he looks like when attacking. I think it's a different animation, and no custom sounds either. Here's what max level looks like. He gets the dark colors and a horn, which kind of looks like a reflected Jester a bit. This one looks pretty cool at max level. Definitely one of the most detailed wizard skins that is currently in the game. Has the same animation as level 4, but sadly no new sounds. It also does not rename it to Mirage like I thought it would, but the skin was pretty easy to get and only required you having to defeat the reflected egg on wave 50, or let it through and then defeat reflected Jester. Is what the ability looks like. Yeah, nothing too special there. Has a render which I'll put on screen now. Then we have the Minesweeper El Goblino skin. And this is pretty cool, probably the best skin in this update. It has this really cool animation with the outline texture on it. And it places these mine flags. It has custom sounds, and when an enemy runs over this, it has a custom particle, which you will now see. Wait. Yeah, plays the explosion effect and sound. Level 2 looks different. It's based off of the Minesweeper tiles, how they have a number on them, and places flags to signify that there's a mine here, and it places 2 flags for level 2 because it's level 2. Here's what an enemy looks like. And it gets the stunned thing on it, which is pretty cool. Let me back up so you can see the particle. Yeah. Level 3 is the red tile that you see, and it has a pretty cool animation. Still the same sound though, which honestly is still a different sound than default, so it's really cool. There's 3 flags on it, and this is what it looks like when it stuns an enemy. Level 4, it's a blue tile. Let's see, 4 flags. Looks pretty cool. It's kind of right on it, looking like it's based off of an old computer, I guess. Here's what it looks like when an enemy steps over it. Level 5, you get these cool glasses, different animation, a backpack. Yeah. And it has 5 flags on it. Wait, no, this is 4. There has 5 flags on it. It looks like this. Here's what it looks like when an enemy runs over it. There's that stunned particle. This is what the crucifix looks like. It is relabeled to a mine. So this is just the mine itself that the mines are trying to flag. Or that Sweeper was trying to flag. And it just floats in the air. Here's what it looks like when an enemy activates it. Here we have an alien. And it's gone. Here's what it looks like if it fails. So that's the El Goblino skin from the Minesweeper egg, which required running around in a circle and finding the egg under the tiles. Next up, we have the Squirrel skin for Beebo, and here it is. It throws an acorn. This is the I think the first Beebo skin to rename it. From Beebo to a different name. Here's what it looks like when it's attacking. Here's what level 2 looks like. It's riding on whatever insect weevil that is. And he has a helmet now. Here's what it looks like when attacking. Here's what it looks like when attacking. Here's level 3. The base is a acorn stump in a bush. And he gets a jetpack made out of acorns. Level 4 has a sign. It's blank though. And it gets this helicopter thing. And finally, max level. Sign says no foxes allowed. There's acorns on it. And he has a small helicopter or plane thing. Yeah, this skin's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure it's the first Beebo skin to have a render as well, but I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll put it on screen. Now we get to the new map's rewards. First of all, the easy reward is the Prophet skin for Jester. And it has its own render, which is surprising for an easy mode reward, but it's a little fish. Is it fishtail? Yes, custom sounds, custom font, but no custom summons or particles. Here's what level 2 looks like. It's the followers from the map. And still a fish thing. Yeah, pretty cool, honestly. But I don't know why it's for Jester. I mean, it makes sense, but I think it would have looked better on a different hero, because honestly, they keep on making all the Jester skins most detailed, but they keep on putting them all as summoners. And nobody uses Jester, so you're never gonna like see this ever, because there are better skins like Elf. Level 3 looks like this. It's pretty cool. But again, you'll like never see this ever. Here's what level 4 looks like. Use that decal from the map. And here's what max level looks like. Pretty cool design. This is what that statue in the map is referencing. So the followers could be one day or something. Yeah, pretty good skin. I'm just kind of annoyed it's for Jester because I don't really know who this would be for if it wasn't for Jester. But honestly, this wouldn't be an awful Slime King skin. Like, if its summons looked like the level 1, like this, then it could work as a Slime King skin. Next up, we have the Stella skin, which I didn't equip. Next up, we have the Stella skin, which you get from beating medium mode of the new map. It's based off of Lucerne, who is the boss, and also the squib enemies that you see constantly throughout the map. Here's what it looks like when summoning. Has that animation that plays when you sell a follower. Here's what the level 1 drawing, or the waffle, looks like when attacking. Here's what level 2 of the skin looks like. It's based off of the squib enemies. Here's what it looks like when summoning. Level 2 is based off, or the gem is based off of a cuttlefish. And it shoots ink when attacking. Here's what level 3 looks like. It's based off of the... I don't really know what it's based off of actually, but it looks pretty cool. Here's what it looks like when inflicting the chill effect. Not you. Not you. Doesn't really make that much noise, but there is a sound, it's just very faint. Here's what level 4 looks like. Ignore that. Here's what level 4 the skin looks like. It's almost reached the point of the boss now. Looks really cool in my opinion. Here's what it summons. Here's what the Doug variant looks like. cool. And here's what Max looks like. It's Lucerne, the boss of the map. And it looks really cool, to be honest. Here's what it looks like when summoning. And I'm gonna wait for it to spawn this urchin enemy. Pretty cool. But yeah, that's the Stella skin from beating medium mode of the map. Next up we have the hard mode skin, which is for the new hero Mako. And comparing it to default here, it has a different bucket, it has a different face, and it's a different color overall. And the bucket has a more rectangular handle, opposed to the default circular one. Level 2 has a different clothing, and it has a mana symbol instead of a square on its belt. It also has a different, the bucket is the same color as level 1, and it has a different liquid inside of it. And again, it's different color and facial expression. Level 3 is a more pointy sword than default, and more of a purple color scheme to it. Also a different scarf, and the mana symbol on its boots. Level 4, it looks entirely different from default, and the bucket now has a crown on it, has more jewels on it, or pearls, and the sword, or the harpoon, looks entirely different. And finally, at max level, it looks entirely different than default again. This time it has a knight's helmet and a full crown. The sword looks, the anchor looks way cooler, and the armor also looks cooler. Here's what level 1 looks like attacking in comparison to default. It is a splash damage hero, which means that it has the ability to hit multiple enemies at once, although until level 3 it isn't very noticeable. It does 6 damage at level 1, with a rate of 2.5 seconds, and a range of 3.2. For the cost of 130, that's not very good, especially with the very limited range. At level 2, it does 4 seconds every 20 it does 20 damage every 4 seconds with a range of 3.5, and gets detection like every other hero at the cost of 1,000 mana. Again, it's not very good because you're honestly better off using either Chef or Soda Pop, depending if you need single target or splash damage, but it is a good hybrid between the two. Level 3 is where things get interesting because it gets a new system called the charge system, where it does 40 to 100 damage every 3.8 seconds in the range of 4. However, this charge meter makes it so that the longer an enemy is alive before it attacks, the more damage in between these two variables it will do. So if it has 0 charge like right now, it will always do 40 damage. Whereas if there is an enemy who is walking, you'll see that they will begin to charge up their attack and begin going closer to that 100 damage mark. So if we wait until they reach the maximum charge, they would do 200 damage because there's 2 of them. That sound that it made right before it attacked, that is the maximum charge up time, because it took it 15 seconds to get here, which means that it maxed out at its potential. Also, do note that the splash range also increases the longer it has been charging, which means that if it is at max charge, then it will have a much bigger splash radius than if it was not. If it is not at max charge, then don't rely on the splash damage because it's really small. Similarly, for level 4, it does 150 damage without its charge. It charges for 14 seconds to reach a maximum of 350 in a 3.4 second rate over 4.5 range. Here's what that looks like. See, they begin charging. Once the enemy... Actually, I'll take a higher health enemy. See, it does that spin because it reached max charge. It's pretty much doing... I'm pretty sure that's full area damage at that point. And because they haven't had a good amount of time to charge, since he's a bit ahead, they will not be doing that full spin, and they will just do a normal... Oh wait, they did! Okay, I guess it must be a certain threshold then. But normally they just do this for a lot less damage. Now this charge up thing is actually within a range. I believe it's like 10 times its range, because if it's at the very back of the map, it won't start charging until they reach within a certain distance. And see, when they're at max charge, it starts glowing, and then they're going to do 700 damage. Yeah. Notice they'll always do their less amount when they haven't fully charged. And here's max level. It does up to 500 damage per swing, which is insane. The charge up is only 12 seconds, so that is that's pretty good. Rate is 3 seconds, but honestly, charge is more important. It has 5.5 range, which is still horrible, but if it is allowed to charge, then that 500 damage can save you, especially if it's in the back of the map. So definitely do not put this thing at the entrance, because it will only be doing 250 damage. But if you put it at the very back of the map, then it could save you from a bunch of fast enemies with the spin, and can do a lot of damage to them, up to 500. So you'll do 1,000 damage here. And then it'll switch back to its normal attack, which it will only do 250, which is still a considerable amount. And then they'll go back into charging. If we spawn a Goblin Admiral, which has a lot of health and is pretty slow, you will see them charge up. And once they hit max charge, I'm going to spawn a bunch of motorboat goblins, and they should be able to kill them because they only have 900 health. Because they'll both hit max charge. Let's see how that works in action. Here they come, 900 health. And it clears up that huge chunk of them. So yeah, it can be pretty useful in if you need a bunch of damage, and I think if it's at full charge, then it will do the full amount to every enemy in range. Otherwise, it only does half damage to the other enemies in its range, like any other splash tower. But yeah, that's the new hero, Mako. It's pretty good. It doesn't seem that overpowered. I think it's honestly balanced properly, which is surprising for a hero that just came off release. And that leads us to the final skin in this update, which is the secret one for Yasuke. You get this one by clearing all the followers on the map, which doesn't cost that much. I thought it was going to cost more, to be honest, because I didn't realize there was a cost cap. But here's what it looks like at level 1. Here's what it looks like when attacking. Pretty cool. Here's what it looks like at level 2. here's what it looks like when attacking. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Here's what it looks like at level 3. It's based off of an Aqua Soldier, which is pretty cool. Here's what it looks like when attacking. Level 4, and you all know who this is based off of. It's obviously Kris from Deltarune. Looks honestly really cool. Here's what it looks like when attacking. And max level. It gets a different sword. I saw someone in the lobby say this looks like Sebastian Solis. I guess I could see it, but like, it's supposed to be Kris from Deltarune. And you probably already know that because, how could you not? I don't even play Deltarune, and I know it's supposed to be based off of it. And here's what the ability looks like. Turns red. And when attacking, turns the sword particles red too. Pretty cool skin. I think the Dragon Flame could have changed more. Like if it turned his like light red, that would have been cooler. But it's still like a really cool skin. All the skins in this update are really cool. And did I do Stella yet? I actually don't think I did Stella yet. Let me film that real quick. And that's all the new skins in this update. So thank you for watching this Odyssey video, and for choosing to watch my video. That's all for this video, and I'll see you in my next one, where I will go over the lore of the new map and how it ties into the huge lore of Tower Heroes. Thank you. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more Tower Heroes content. Bye!